Hey, what's going on, comic fans? It's Mr. Q Comics back with another haul video here. I have got another short box of comics I picked up from the dollar bins at one of my local shops. If anyone watched my last dollar bin haul video, same shop. This actually predates the other haul. So it's probably 100, 110 books here. Nearly filled the short box. So I got this probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, something like that. And I just haven't gotten around to shooting the video. I just finally kind of processed them and got them rebagged and boarded and figured out which ones I'm going to hold on to and which ones I'm going to unload. I think I'm going to split this into two videos here so I don't ramble on for 45 minutes going through it. So I just have this in alphabetical order. All I picked up that trip was these dollar bin books, so there's no like major wall books or anything at the end. So let's just dive right into it here. Starting with the A's. Low grade copy, Action Comics number 402. This is just a very cool cover. Neil Adams cover from 1971. We've got All-Star Comics number 60. This is from 1976. It is the first appearance of Vulcan, Son of Fire. Ernie Chan cover and a Jerry Conway story. This one's really nice, probably very fine shape. And they had 61 as well. I don't know anything about this character. Never really read this at all. I do like these All-Star Comics banners. I love the covers. So this is probably in a little bit better shape. This is also Ernie Chan cover, Jerry Conway story, and it's the first appearance of Xanadu and the second appearance of Vulcan. Okay, a little bit newer stuff here. Anyone who's watched my videos before knows I'm a huge fan of this artist. All-Star Squadron number 47, an early Todd McFarlane cover. It's also the origin of Dr. Fate. I found this before, so I have another copy, probably in VF Near Mint. Also found in the dollar bins probably a couple years ago, and I didn't even know it existed. So I'm always happy to find early artist covers that I just don't know about. It's one of my favorite things to dig in the dollar bins for. And they had a couple copies, so I grabbed them both. Both of them in really good shape. Probably very fine near mint on both. Okay, I got a copy of Annie. Number 1, I've mentioned it in pretty much every video. I'm a child of the 80s, and I'm a sucker for Marvel 80s miniseries. Anything that's a TV show turned into a comic book. Anything that's a movie adaptation, which is what this is. So just pure nostalgia stuff from my childhood. So again, one of my favorite things when I'm digging for comics is anything from the 80s or anything that just kind of elicits that memory of my childhood and that feeling of nostalgia. It's definitely one of my favorite things to hunt for. Whether they're worth anything or not, those are definitely some of my favorite books to find. So, all right, a minor key issue here. Avengers number 200, the double-size anniversary issue. George Perez cover. I've mentioned it a ton. I love these George Perez group shot covers when he's got like 10 plus characters on them. Fantastic stuff. This one's in really nice shape. Probably very fine near mint from 1980. So it's George Perez on the cover and art, and then you get a huge creative team on the story. Jim Shooter, George Perez, Bob Layton, David Michelini. And this is the first Marcus of Mortis, and it's also a controversial issue because I guess Carol Danvers becomes pregnant by a man who ends up being the same person she gives birth to, which is obviously a really messed up story. I'm going to guess that was Jim Shooter coming up with that. We got Barbarians, number 1, featuring Ironjaw. I don't think it's the first appearance of Ironjaw. I think that's just Ironjaw number 1, but Atlas Comics. Okay, Batman 121. I found this before. I see this quite a bit in dollar bins, and these can go for decent money, like 20, 25 bucks in good shape. I think 9/8 go for quite a bit more than that, but it's Batman 121, the Toys R Us reprint, which I believe was packaged with some toy. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming a Batman related toy. I think from 1997. I wrote it down. Yeah, it looks like 1997. So another Neil Adams cover, Batman 245. Low grade, probably VG. I had it before. I have another copy, but I wasn't going to leave that behind. Another Neil Adams Batman book for $1. Definitely taking that. It's from 1972. And we got 267, which is in really rough shape. I can't read my notes on this one. This is a Dick Giordano cover from 1975. Really bad sticker mark there. But again, I didn't have it. And I've been, piecing together a Batman run from the dollar bins when I can find this stuff. Okay, this one I've had my hands on before and never pulled the trigger. I think this goes for like 20, 25 bucks, and I never wanted to pay it, figuring I'd find it in a dollar bin, so finally did. Batman 655. This is the first cameo of Damian Wayne, the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. I love this Andy Kubert cover. This one's fantastic. I love the just red and black. Fantastic. Really dark cover. Beautiful stuff. This is probably very fine near mint copy. I've shown this before. I've got a few copies of this. 656 is the first full appearance of Damian Wayne. Again, Andy Kubert cover. And then 657 is, I think, the second full and first cover of Damian Wayne. So definitely happy to find those in the dollar bin. Some more Batman. Batman Family number 9. And I thought this was the first cover appearance of the Joker's daughter. I'm not sure if I think I read, and I haven't read this book, but I think I read in the Key Collector app when I was looking this up again. It's someone else dressed as the Joker's daughter. I am not 100% sure. So anyways, it is a cool book. Probably mid-grade, fine, very fine. Joe Quesada. I'm sorry, that's Ernie Chan on the cover. I marked that down wrong. This is the Joe Quesada cover. Batman, Sword of Azrael, book 1, first appearance of Azrael from 1992. This one's probably in near mint condition. Again, another minor key I see for 20-25 bucks on shop walls. So definitely happy to find it in the dollar bins. Back to some Marvel 80s movie adaptations. Blade Runner number 1, probably VF copy. It's got some dog earring up there, but definitely happy to grab that. I can't remember if they had issue 2 when I left it for some reason. I would have thought I would have grabbed it. It's only $2, so they must have only had issue 1. But for some reason, I thought 1 and 2 were back to back, but I only found 1. So okay, cool. Brave and the Bold cover 87. This is from, I think, 1971. I believe, and I'm not sure who did this art. Dick Giordano on the cover. Then we got a really low grade Captain America 87. Sorry, Captain America 136 from 1971. And this is John Buscema on the cover. Stanley story. Gene Colan interiors. Let me grab another stack here real quick. All right, some more Captain America. I showed this book off last dollar bin haul as well. $2.75 from 1982. This is the first appearance of the second Baron Zemo. And I love Mike Zack. Fantastic Mike Zack cover. I can't remember how many books he did this Captain America run. I think he did, not a straight run, but he did a bunch of them in the 80s. It's fantastic cover. And I'm pretty sure Baron Zemo, the second Baron Zemo, is confirmed for the Falcon Winter Soldier show. And I can find these in the dollar bin all the time. I've probably found 5-6 copies. Okay, Captain Marvel number 25. This one's probably, again, VG. A lot of the older stuff was beat up, but again, for $1, I wasn't going to leave it. So this is the first Jim Starlin artwork on the title, and I believe it begins the Thanos War storyline. This was also a really cool find. Really low grade, lots of chipping. Chamber of Darkness number 7. Just really cool. Bernie Wrightson. I love Bernie Wrightson art, this horror stuff. It's the first time, the first Bernie Wrightson artwork for Marvel. So definitely an awesome dollar bin find. Some more Chamber of Darkness. Special number 1. This is from, let's see, 1972. And it's John Romita on the cover. Stanley story. John Buscema art. Some more low-grade Marvel Silver Age stuff here. Daredevil number 14. You can see it's a lot of, tanning. The pages are definitely cream to off-white. A lot of chipping, so it's probably in the good range. But again, early Daredevil. I don't believe this is a key or anything. Stanley story. Stanley story. John Romita cover and art. And then these are some Maurice Severin covers. 75 and 76. Again, really low-grade stuff. Early Bronze Age. They had a nice run at DC Comics Presents, so I got some minor keys out of there. They didn't have the big guys, 26, and, oh my god, I'm forgetting what's the first He-Man, 48? I've wanted to find that in the dollar bins and never found that, but we got number 2. And I'm going to butcher his name. Let me see. I had to write it down. Where is he? Jose Luis Garcia Lopez cover and art. It's part 2 of the 4th Superman and Flash race. And they had, again, I got these the last dollar bin haul as well. Number 27 and 28, first appearance and second appearance of Mongol. And I think this is Jim Starlin artwork as well. And then we got the Death of Airwave in number 40. Ross Andrew. And this one here, not a key, but I just like I love the 80s Joker. The 80s Joker look, I really dig. In the purple suit, just more goofy, not quite as sadistic as today. Today it's really dark, really sadistic. I guess Death in the Family, he still had that look, but that was probably my first, the first book I had read where it was like, oh wow, he's really crazy. He just beat that guy to death with a crowbar. And number 87 is the first appearance of Superboy Prime. All right, I got everything completely messed up here. Totally out of order. So let's see. Back to the D's. Another Toys R Us reprint. This is Detective 359, the first appearance of Batgirl, Carmen Infantino cover. Again, 1997 reprint. I don't know what toy line it was with, so I'm assuming Batman action figures, but I really don't know. Doc Savage, number 1, which I saw surprisingly, I saw this on the Key Collector app, is, some speculation. I'm assuming on a Disney Plus series. I really have no idea. I happened to get this probably a day or two before that notice came out, and I wrote this down here. I think that's a John Buscema cover. Definitely happened to get this. Doctor Strange, number 2. Really cool Frank Bruner cover. I don't have number 1 of... I don't know if you count this as volume 1 or volume 2. I know Strange Tales turned into Doctor Strange, so I don't know if that technically counts as volume 1 and this is volume 2. I'm not positive, but for $1, it's a low grade. I was happy to have it. Fantastic Four, number 1, the Marvel Milestone Edition, which I think these came out in the 80s. I grab these anytime I find them in the dollar bin. Super, super low grade copy of Fantastic Four 65, first appearance of Ronan. Boy, this book, I remember this book was crazy expensive after the Guardians movie, but man, it has really, maybe it's just me, but it just seems like this book has gone way, way down in value. But, Stanley Story, Jack Kirby art, I wasn't going to leave it there for $1, even though it's absolutely thrashed. All right, some more Fantastic Four stuff. I got them a little bit out of order. Just a cool Silver Surfer cover. Again, low grade, number 123. I believe this is John Buscema. I could be wrong. Sal Buscema cover, John Buscema on the art. And these I just grabbed. I think I've got a copy of that in better shape. I was just grabbing these because I dug the Silver Surfer Galactus covers. I think this is Keith Pollard on this one, issue 210. And Walt Simonson on 212. So those are probably mid-grade, but I didn't have them, so I just dug the Galactus covers. And another awesome Silver Surfer cover, not the original, but Fantasy Masterpieces number 4. Obviously the classic John Buscema cover from Silver Surfer number 4. Really low grade copy of Flash Annual number 1. I think this is also Carmen Infantino on the cover from 1963. Swing over to some more modern stuff here. We got Ghost Rider number 1 from 1990. First appearances of Danny Ketch as Ghost Rider, which I remember buying multiple copies of this as a 12-year-old, riding my 10-speed across town to pick up my pull list and buying this probably 3 or 4 times. This and Sleepwalker and Darkhawk and all those number 1s that came out at the time. All right, just some G.I. Joe stuff that I didn't have. Really low-grade copy, not a key. Number 3, I think it's the first print. Probably a VG copy. But again, these G.I. Joe books, if they're in good shape, they're $20, $30 asking price for the early issues. Not even just number 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just not willing to pay that for those books. So, number 26, probably mid-grade. This is the origin of Snake Eyes. And I think there's another G.I. Joe movie coming out. There's something else in this book that maybe is showing up in that movie. So these I was super happy to find, and they are really beat up. I've wanted these for a while and just not wanted to spend the money that people are asking for. Howard the Duck number 12, which is the first cameo appearance of Kiss. And I don't know if I wrote this down, but I'm pretty sure I thought it was Gene Colan on the art here. I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure it's Gene Colan on this. So this is the first cameo of Kiss. Horrible condition. Big tears. But again, for $1, I couldn't leave them for $1. I've wanted them. And they had number 13 as well, which is in even worse condition. I mean, there's creases, tape pulls, and it's really beat up. This is the first full appearance. I don't know what it is. I dig these Marvel books that have like Alice Cooper and Kiss in them. I mean, I'm not even a huge Kiss fan. I was born in 78, so these are from 77, but I just have these memories of my brother's Kiss 8-tracks, some reason being in my bottom drawer when they were much older, and we didn't even have an 8-track player in the house, but for some reason we held on to all their 8-tracks. And the original Kiss, the band, full costume, Gene Simmons with the tongue and the bat wings and these thigh-high monster platform boots, and I was just mesmerized as a kid. I would just stare at those things just like in awe, like, what is this? And that's what I think of when I see this book. So that is pretty much the reason I wanted them. All right, we'll do a few more here. We're about almost halfway. So let's get to the M's. We'll get through the J's here and call it a video. So we got Incredible Hulk and Wolverine #1. This is a cool John Byrne cover. I think it's a wraparound cover. So it reprints 180, Hulk 180 and 181. It's from 1986. Usually, a $15, $20 book in good shape in the regular back issues. Inhumans, #2, not a key issue. I think this is from 1975. This is a mid-grade copy, just Rich Buckler cover. And I think it's George Perez on the art. This I showed last time. I just love this cover. John Romita Jr., Iron Man and Doctor Doom. Awesome Bronze Age cover from 81. Again, a mid-grade copy, but just a super cover. This is really cool to me. It's Adventures of Jerry Lewis, number 83. I don't think these have a ton of value to them, but again, it's just kind of 60s pop culture stuff that I just really dig that. Again, for whatever reason, it just makes me think of my dad, my uncles, the time period they grew up in. They grew up watching Jerry Lewis on TV. And it's that quirky, kind of goofy DC humor, which you'd expect. I mean, it's a Jerry Lewis comic. So for $1, I wasn't going to leave it there. I don't even know who did the art on this at all, the art or the story. I'm sure I wrote it down. Bob Oxner cover and art, I think. So pretty cool stuff. Okay, Journey into Mystery #2. This is volume 2. Not a key issue, but it's in pretty good shape. Fine to very fine, from 1972, and that's a Gil Kane cover. And we will finish up with the Justice League. We got Justice League of America #39, a giant size issue. And I assume this just reprints a lot of earlier issues here. Let's see. Yeah, it's from 1963. Oh, I got it all messed up. That's from 1965. I got my notes out of order. We got 83 as well. And then finally, the last Justice League book. Justice League #1 from 1987. And I think this has also got some spec on it now. I had it before and sold it. But this is the first appearance of Maxwell Lord, who I think is confirmed to be one of the villains in the upcoming Wonder Woman 1984 movie. So high-grade copy, probably very fine, near mint. So definitely happy to pick that up. And with that, guys, we will hold off. I got pretty much another half a short box here. So we will finish up with the M's through to the X's on the next video. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe down below, leave some comments. Love chatting with you guys, and I will see you guys soon.